Chris Cuomo here. Welcome to NewsNation. Breaking news, former FBI Director Jim Comey indicted, lying before a Senate committee, obstructing that proceeding, that committee proceeding, in the same way by lying. Both are felonies, up to 5 years. This is about whether Comey lied when he said to a senator he did not authorize anyone in his office to leak about the Trump investigation when he was head of the FBI. I'm going to keep saying it. Ready? Because this is it. You're going to be hearing about this for a while. And here's how you keep it straight. When he was the head of the FBI, did he authorize the leak of information to the media? Okay? The last part is everything. When he was head of the FBI, did he leak? This is going to be a case of interpretation. Why? Comey said then and later and always that after he was dismissed and after Trump tweeted what he took as a threat, he asked a friend of his, and there are lots of names and all that, but that's not what matters right now. It is what he said versus what he did and when, okay? After he was dismissed, he says, after Trump tweeted, he asked a friend to leak some information into the media, okay? The Inspector General looked at this, okay, under the Trump administration, and they found that Comey broke some norms. How? By what he took home, by how he handled things, but that none of it was actionable, that there would be no charges. So what changed? I say what changed is Trump, that Trump wants to go after him. And you will hear that they have new documents that show Comey lied and leaked sooner. What are those documents? We do not know. They are not in this two-page indictment, nor do they need to be. Now, this is the DOJ bringing this, right? There's a prosecutor named Halligan who signed it. But this is Trump. This is revenge. This is lawfare. This is not justice, I argue to you. This is about satisfying just us, meaning one side. I think this is classic two wrongs. Some of the prosecutions of the president were wrong, were weak, and were brought out of political expedience more than prosecutorial discretion. I believe this is the same thing. I also think what Comey did to Hillary was way worse than what he did to Trump. And I know that that's not a legal analysis, but saying that there were more emails just weeks before the election is something the FBI would never do. Never what Comey did writing that letter. And then to say a couple weeks, oh, but there are not going to be any charges. So out of line, so disastrous, and he knew it. That was something the FBI never does. But that's a matter for another day. I'm just saying for your perspective. Now, I also say this because I know this timeline and the existing body of evidence very, very well, okay? Why? Because I got it wrong one night, and I realized that I had some things confused, so I really dove into the Inspector General report, and that is what you should do as well, okay? There is a timeline that you'll see on social media that may or may not have been put together by one of Trump's former lawyers. It is not accurate. Okay, it suggests in the timeline that leaks were coming out before Trump tweeted that had to be coming from Comey, so he must have lied when he said it. I don't think it's accurate. I don't think it's backed by anything. Okay, however, here's the best part. There is reason to believe that this comes down to the interpretation of what leaking versus sharing meant to Comey. Because remember, to lie to somebody, you got to have intent, right? You can be wrong, but not lying, okay? Why? Because you didn't take it the way that they meant it. How so? Well, in the Inspector General report, it says that Comey began sharing information that was FBI material, his lawyer, this professor friend, not mere musings, not just, hey, buddy, information about the investigation with people outside the office before he was dismissed. Did that get to the media? I don't know. Is that considered a leak that he was setting up? I don't know. But did it happen before Trump's tweet that he said triggered him to give it to his friend? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Does that pass muster? I don't know. I say it's iffy. But this is about payback as much as it is about proof. And again, relying on the dossier was the original sin. And that's not in these charges, but that is what is motivating these charges. This makes Comey the first former senior government official to be indicted for the investigation. And here's what the president says. All right, justice in America. One of the worst human beings the country's ever been exposed to, Jim Comey, former corrupt head of the FBI, today was indicted by a grand jury on 2 felony counts. Remember, the grand jury, to find a true bill, which is what this is called, they did not have to be presented with the proof of these new emails that they say they have that changes the reckoning. They just needed to have a prosecutor suggest to them that they exist. Remember, this is the lowest bar in our process. All right? You know, the rest of what he says is not relevant. It's just he hates Comey. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.